Good evening, my intrepid viewers, and welcome to the latest installment of A Descent into the Maelstrom, a weekly forum where I, Edgar Allan Poe, summon characters from all the greatest tales told throughout all time to illuminate our path through the tempest of modern existence, exploring their wisdom on literature, life, and confronting the eternal challenges that haunt our times. Prepare now, dear viewers, to voyage with me through the mysterious currents of history and imagination as we begin a descent into the Maelstrom. Tonight, our guest is a figure who has borne the weight of society's judgment and hypocrisy with unparalleled grace. She is none other than Hester Prynne, the indomitable protagonist of Nathaniel Hawthorne's magnum opus, The Scarlet Letter. But before we engage in conversation, allow me to provide a brief synopsis of this literary masterpiece. The Scarlet Letter unveils a world of puritanical moralism, where a single letter, A, becomes the symbol of Hester Prynne's sin, forever marking her as an outcast. But in her solitude and suffering, she finds a strength that defies the societal norms that sought to oppress her. As punishment for bearing an illegitimate child, Hester refuses to reveal the identity of her child's father, and as a result, she faces judgment and isolation from her community. As the novel progresses, Hester's strength and resilience become evident as she seeks to live a life of dignity and independence despite her societal condemnation. The story explores themes of sin, guilt, redemption, and the hypocrisy of society as it delves into the complexities of human nature and morality by examining the effects of societal judgment and repression on individuals. Hawthorne's masterwork is a deeply compelling exploration of the tension between personal integrity and the expectations of a judgmental society, making it a significant milestone in all of American literature. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our distinguished guest, Hester Prynne.
Thank you, Mr. Poe. It is an honor to be here.
The honor is truly mine, Mistress Prynne. Now, if I may, I would like to begin our descent by inquiring about the treatment of women in your time compared to the modern era. How have the roles and expectations of women evolved?
Yes, thank you for the question, Mr. Poe. In my time, women were bound by strict puritanical codes, expected to conform to a rigid morality. The Scarlet Letter, as you mentioned, was a constant reminder of my transgression. In today's world, I believe women have gained more independence and a voice in shaping their destinies, but the struggle for equality continues.
Can please expand on that, Mistress Prynne? In what ways does the struggle for equality continue?
Well, Mr. Poe, for instance, despite the advances we see today, women still face disparities in wages, opportunities, and representation in positions of power. There remains a pervasive culture of discrimination and harassment that we must confront head-on. Women continue to fight for their voices to be heard, their experiences acknowledged, and their rights protected. The struggle for equality is a ceaseless battle, one that transcends time and place. It is a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who refuse to be silenced or oppressed. It is a reminder that the Scarlet Letters society imposes upon us should not define us, but rather serve as a rallying cry for justice and a beacon of hope for a brighter future.
Well said, Mistress Prynne. Indeed, the struggle endures. Now, let us turn our gaze to modern feminism and the Me Too movement. What are your thoughts on these contemporary efforts to empower women and combat harassment?
I find these movements both admirable and necessary. They provide a platform for women to share their stories, seek justice, and demand change. The power of collective voices cannot be underestimated, for it shines a light on the darkness of injustice. In my own time, I bore the Scarlet Letter, a symbol of shame and condemnation. Yet I found within myself the strength to defy the norms that sought to shackle me. And today, in this modern age, we are witnesses to a resurgence of feminist voices, echoing the call for equality and justice. A Me Too movement, born from the courage of countless women who dared to speak their truths, has shattered the silence that has long protected the perpetrators of harassment and abuse. It is a beacon of hope, a testament to the resilience of survivors who have refused to be silenced by fear or shame.
A profound sentiment, Mistress Prynne. Now let us broach another contentious issue of our time. What are your thoughts on the Supreme Court's recent decision that effectively banned abortion?
A contentious issue indeed. However, I believe in a woman's right to make choices regarding her own body, especially in dire circumstances. The Supreme Court's decision to ban abortions reminds us that our rights remain fragile, subject to the ebb and flow of political tides. We must unite, not in despair, but in determination. We must rally against those who seek to erode our hard-fought freedoms. We must reaffirm that a woman's body is her own, and the choices she makes must be respected and protected. Legal abortion ensures that women have access to safe and regulated healthcare, sparing them from the horrors of dangerous and clandestine procedures.
An empathetic perspective, Mistress Prynne. As we near the conclusion of our conversation, may I ask which female character from classic literary novels you admire most, and what qualities draw you to her?
I hold a deep admiration for Jane Eyre. In her, I find a kindred spirit, a woman of unyielding strength and resilience. Much like myself, she defied the constraints and expectations of her time. Jane and I both bore burdens that society placed upon us. We were both marked as outsiders, judged and condemned for our perceived transgressions. Yet, in the face of our trials, we refused to be diminished. We upheld our dignity and moral integrity, even when it seemed the world was against us.
A fine choice, Mistress Prynne. Mistress Eyre is indeed one of the noble giants of all of literature. Perhaps someday I may have the honor of hosting her in our humble forum as well.
You would indeed be providing a great service to your audience if she were to join you here in conversation, Mr. Poe.
Truly. But alas, as the great service you are providing to our audience at present comes to a close, do you have any parting thoughts or words of wisdom for our viewers?
I would urge everyone to challenge the shackles of conformity and judgment, to strive for a more just and equal world, and to remember that the scarlet letters we bear do not define us, but rather the strength of our spirits.
Profound words, Mistress Prynne. I am grateful for your insights and deeply moved by your grace and indefatigable courage.
Thank you for inviting me, Mr. Poe. It was a very rewarding experience.
And my thanks go to you as well, my dear viewers, for daring to make the descent with me into yet another tumultuous topic. But before you and I bid our farewells, I ask that you please take the time to share with me your thoughts in the comments section on today's intriguing discourse, as well as your recommendations for future topics and guests. And with that, another installment of A Descent into the Maelstrom comes to a close. Until next time, may the tales and truths they unfold forever shape our understanding as we navigate the raging and unpredictable currents of existence, while always keeping utmost in mind that never to suffer would never to have been blessed.